He showed up.
But
He showed up to the Libertarian National Convention.
You're a Donald Trump supporter, right?
Yes.
You said you're not a Republican, right?
No.
So why in the hell every time you bring up the Libertarians, you bring up the Libertarian Party?
Because this man showed up to your convention and you disrespected him.
You see what I'm saying, though, right?
Wait a second. Hold on, man. Hold on. Please
Yeah,
pause. I can't comprehend the fact that Eric just made a valid argument. That fucking
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to defend him. You guys see the video of Jeremy and Eric July fighting?
No. What?
Ooh,
You didn't see that?
No.
They were on stream, and hold on, let me find the clip.
Fuck it. Eric, come on.
Yes.
Hold on. Give us the goods.
All right, here, hold on.
Jeremy, I'm assuming it's Jeremy Griggs.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a long clip, but like we'll just watch a little bit of it here. Hold on, let me pull this up.
I mean, if they're fighting through the whole thing, we'll watch the whole goddamn. I don't care.
All right. So a lot of people are saying that Jeremy, like, quote unquote, won this fight, but you know,
many are saying this.
yeah. Oh, you've seen a little bit of it too?
No. Just
Oh, okay.
that just sounds like a very like a lot of people are saying that.
Yeah. No. Honestly, I've been looking online today, and a lot of folks were like, Eric. You'll see. Here we go. This is interesting. It's from Cobra Cast. I think it was.
Well, wait,
actually
I want to know
yesterday.
one thing. Does this hold true?
Like, I don't get offended by shit.
I don't know. It's a little crazy. They're trying to downplay it on social media now, acting like it wasn't a big deal, but clearly there was something was going on here. So anyway, here we go.
Inspector with the $5. Hi, Ripa. What's your opinion on Trump's plan on taxes?
What part of it? I already told y'all what I'll do if he can eliminate the federal income tax.
Ripa's a typical libertarian, one single issue voter.
No, that's not it. That's not at all. I don't
Now
think
you
most
got
of
him
it- I think
talking
you're wrong
politics.
on that opinion.
Motherfucker, you said
Libertarians,
he's
number
got to do one thing. He's going to put a MAGA hat
Well,
on.
yeah, that's what I would do to
everything
put a
else he's
MAGA
done.
hat on. I said I would support him and put a MAGA hat on. That don't mean I'm someone's a single
What else
issue
is he?
voter.
Look, what else does a man got to do? He's literally like got.
I want to point out, though, Jeremy has a vested interest in this because he has a whole political channel where he's like MAGA.
He is a hardcore Trumper. So.
Right. So he is completely locked into this. And Eric, to his credit, has been like, I didn't vote for anybody. So he's not been a supporter of any party, really, which I think is what Jeremy's trying to nail him to the cross here with.
Meanwhile, Eric said on that panel at that con, shout out Doge.
Right. But I think the clip is titled "You Ain't Earned It," and I think Jeremy calls Eric out on coming in late to stuff and reaping the benefits of it. So here we go.
Shot at. They trying to kill him. They try to
What's
arrest
that
his
doing
family.
me? Hold
I'm
on,
saying, I'm saying
God
your
damn it, my
stance
corporate
is
taxes
if
are
he
still
does
high
this
as
one
motherfuckers.
thing, you said if he does this one thing, I'm going to put a MAGA hat on.
Absolutely. If he does
That's
that
a
one
typical
thing,
libertarian.
that would benefit.
It's a single issue.
That's
single
not me.
issue.
First of all, I didn't say that I was going to
Did
vote
Ripa
for
vote for Trump?
one.
No.
Number one. Number two, I'm talking about what I would do and wearing all that MAGA shit if he did that. Because that in itself would obviously lift up Americans more than anything. I think you could say that's verifiable. And
look what Doge is doing right now. Doge is doing that right now.
Still paying taxes.
Have not going down since they found out.
So he's calling out Doge. His taxes have not gone down since they found out any of this stuff, is what he's saying.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay, and this is so bizarre to me. This is something that I specifically noticed with Jeremy every time he talks about Donald Trump. Like an inordinate amount of his support for him is literally that somebody tried to assassinate him. Like it comes up every single time. He'll be like, they tried to kill him. They're going to kill you next or whatever shit. Like,
yeah.
Like, it's old news.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is that Trump doesn't even talk about it anymore. I can't remember the last time he brought it up anywhere. So
yeah, well, because like that shit's not as abnormal as people make it out to be. Like there have been, it's just a matter of who breaks the breaks through security most successfully, because there are people planning to assassinate every president at all times. But it's also like he keeps giving you this like they tried to kill him or whatever. Like, one, not a reason to vote for somebody. Two, he will never ever in his life justify exactly who that is that he's referring to. It's literally just people really hate this presidential candidate, or in this case, this president, and therefore you should support him.
I mean, the other thing is, if you're arguing that you should vote somebody because of that, then that leads into the concept that staging something like that could win an election. Like that would be the next.
Oh yeah. No, it's totally like they're incentivizing. I mean, they do that shit all the time. It's the same reason why, like, even if you believe in it conceptually, you should probably be opposed to the death penalty, because that directly incentivizes the government to find reasons to kill people they have a problem with. You know, or same thing with obviously like fair trial or voting rights for felons or whatever. Like,
I'll tell you what Doge has done just off the top of my head. So for one thing, they did was they've just murdered a bunch of babies in Africa, because there's a bunch of babies that receive health medical care for to not get HIV from their mothers or from nursing from their mothers or whatever, and that is now cut off. So we're talking like 300 babies a day basically are getting HIV and are not going to be cared for. So like that's one thing. That's just one.
In case you're like an extremely selfish fucking asshole, first of all, a lot of that stuff directly affects us, because it turns out more people with infectious diseases across the world ends up bleeding over here. But they also have fucking slaughtered our soft power across the world. Like all of those programs and stuff that we're doing to help people in various countries
gave us leverage.
They lied about. Exactly. Like if you only care about American success and American exceptionalism, congrats. So many things we want to get done are going to be 10 times harder to get done because
exactly.
We're going to get attacked. We're talking about like right now. Europe just had a meeting. Some European
that we weren't included in
had a meeting to decide what they were going to do. Like basically to how to plan for in the event of like dealing with Ukraine and Russia, considering the fact that it seems like the U.S. won't be on their side. That means we're talking about a potential World War III situation, except this time the second sequel we got a big twist, which is that the U.S. is not going to be allied with Europe, which is fucking crazy.
But see, Scott, America doesn't spend a dime unless they get something out of it. That's exactly what Edgy was pointing out, is that like we need the leverage as a country to be able to do things. So all of that factors in, and the fact that they don't see that is quite honestly crazy to me. It's just, I mean, I don't have any other way to put it.
It's like if you legitimately are walking
in at this point, man. It's just fucking insanity. Like
they're walking into the office, they're seeing all of this stuff that they don't immediately understand the purpose of, and are going, okay, therefore it must be stupid, right? I'm Elon Musk, I'm real life Tony Stark, whatever. Like, doesn't bother, it's not like they're over here going to leaders in these various countries and asking them, okay, why is it that you need this from the United States? What are we getting at? Like, it's not as if they're just posting, like he'll flatly just be like tweeting about shit he found at the office and being like, isn't this weird? And it's like, you don't know, like it.
The other thing is that's it's a security risk to just post random stuff that you find in secured servers. Like, why are you doing that?
Yeah, and that's the reason that we have fucking elected officials and the bureaucratic state and whatnot, is to manage things that are not like incredibly intuitive and obvious. And
you guys don't trust Kiwi Farms' own big balls to fucking, come on.
I mean, they are treating the American government like it's a failing business and just gutting all this stuff for money, I'm sure, to profit themselves.
This is why capitalism should not be in charge of the government. That's the big thing.
Yes. So, the government can't be run like a business because it is not a business. It's there for the people.
Yeah,
but they're not treating it that way.
I think you could say that's verifiable. And
look what Doge is doing right now. Doge is doing that right now.
Still paying taxes. Not going down since they found all this fraud.
No. It's just as well as I know that Trump can't just eliminate federal or income tax right now. There's got to be a piece. What are you talking about?
To Eric's defense, he didn't say that. He didn't say that was possible. He did, and I hate to defend him, but he said if he did that, I would wear the MAGA stuff. He didn't say that he could. So Jeremy's kind of creating a straw man argument for Eric. Trust me, I don't want to defend Eric.
Okay, I want to know, is Jeremy going to say where income tax comes from? I just want to know if he knows like how he would have to get rid of it.
I haven't watched the whole 25 minutes, so I don't know.
Okay, well, I just want to know if he's like if he recognizes that would take a constitutional amendment. That's all.
By the way, shout out to Ryan.
Talk about how roads would get paid for if. Hey, Ryan, nothing but media's here.
Yeah,
hey, man.
I don't know. Let's see where he goes.
What the fuck are you going on about that single issue?
He's building the pieces right now. But my point is, you should put a fucking MAGA hat on a long fucking time ago.
Well, no.
That's my point.
Once
still paying taxes.
Wait,
Wait. Eric's line has been if he gets rid of the federal taxes, he'll put on the MAGA hat. That hasn't happened. So why is Jeremy insisting that he do that?
You're going to see here in a second.
I hate to defend Eric, but
yeah, I think the thing is that Jeremy is accusing Eric of coming in late and reaping the benefits of all the hard work. That's what this argument is going to end up being. But we're getting there now. But Epic Mike is kind of chiming in too, saying, "Oh, that I'm still paying taxes or whatever," which is kind of funny. I also noticed the other people in this stream, like during the time that I watched it, don't really say anything. They just keep holding shit up to their camera. It's the most juvenile thing I've ever seen. Anyway,
well, yeah, these are the no personality motherfuckers. The fact that Epic Mike, I guess he's taking a break from working on the Epic verse to really come in here and have something to say.
Can't wait for some Epic verse.
Showed up to the Libertarian National Convention. All you motherfuckers should have put a MAGA hat on. That's
Still
the
paying
bottom
taxes.
line.
Jeremy, are you a Republican?
No.
All right, so why the fuck are you keep bringing up the Libertarian Party when talking about libertarians?
He might not be. He's MAGA. He's not a Republican. He's just straight up MAGA.
Oh.
That's the cult
pretend like Republicans have
I don't think
by MAGA.
I don't even know if he I don't watch his political videos, but I don't think a lot of people would admit that they're not Republicans. They're just MAGA because it is a different thing. And I know a lot of Republicans want to believe that it's the same thing. It's not. We're in the fuck around and find out stage of like the difference between MAGA and actual Republicans now. But it is a different thing.
Based on like Ethan Van Sciver's whole fucking thing for years about like I got fired for being a Republican. It's like, no, you got fired for being a fucking crazy MAGA cultist who said crazy, insane shit, and despite being a public employee, for a major company. Anyway.
Yeah,
he showed up. He showed up to the Libertarian National Convention.
You're a Donald Trump supporter, right?
Yes.
You said you're not a Republican, right?
No.
So why in the fuck do every time you bring up the Libertarians, you bring up the Libertarian Party?
Because this man showed up to your convention and you disrespected him.
You see what I'm saying, though, right?
Wait a second. Hold on, man. Hold on. Please pause.
Yeah.
I can't comprehend the fact that Eric just made a valid argument. That fucking
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't want to defend him, but he is making a good point about what Jeremy is saying. Because I think Jeremy is crashing out a little bit. This is like a crash out moment. But I'm not saying that I'm not siding with either one of these guys. They're both pieces of shit to me.
No, they're both terrible.
But I think that Jeremy is honestly making an argument that Eric isn't. He's creating a narrative that Eric didn't say at the beginning of this clip. Like, and I understand that, but also I guess if you're a massive MAGA supporter, you're probably going to side with Jeremy here because you're a Trump supporter or whatever. But it spirals into like what's really happening here, and I think it's quite interesting because again, I don't have a dog in this fight. I'm just a spectator, but we'll get there. Hold on.
I mean, that doesn't make sense. I'm not a member of the Libertarian Party. I voted for more Republicans than I've ever voted for Libertarian Party members.
My point being,
what are you talking about?
My problem is you say if he does this one thing, I'll put a MAGA hat on.
For me, yes, absolutely. Because
you should have done put a fucking MAGA hat on. Is my point.
For what?
Why does he need to be
They all drop out. They all drop out. They all drop out. They're like,
why does he need to be
why they
fucking
just
worshiping
Xing out
him?
their camera. I mean, it looks like they just have a StreamYard set up where you could just do this.
Well, because I don't think they want to be. I think they're disavowing this whole argument.
Now they're just out. Yeah.
I was wondering if they were hiding their faces because they didn't want to reveal who they were laughing at. Like who like
probably because these are the big dogs. These are the big dogs. You got Jeremy, you got Eric. These are the big dogs. They don't want to laugh at the big dogs. You know what I mean?
It's like if he's laughing at Jeremy's weak ass argument, that's gonna look bad. Like
yeah. So you keep holding up stuff that's on your desk.
Yeah.
But I mean, the thing about it is, but Jeremy is right in one way on this because he said that libertarians are a single issue voting party, right? And what Eric is saying that is, if he does this one thing, I would support him. So therefore, maybe not literally voting, but you are supporting based on one thing. So it is a single issue discussion that they're having. So I think that's quite interesting. The
other thing is Eric has talked about for a long time that voting doesn't mean anything or whatever and stuff. So like,
he didn't even vote in this last election.
Did he vote in this last one or no?
No, he didn't.
Right, he says he didn't. I don't know about that. You know what I mean? Like, I have a feeling that he's just like actually just straight up MAGA underneath this fucking libertarian cover because he straight up works for Blaze Media. Come on, man. Yeah. What party line you're fucking pushing whenever you work for Blaze Media.
Yeah. Well, okay. Can you appreciate the fact that the source of this argument is literally Eric July, who has been far more supportive of Donald Trump than he has been against him at any point in time, is simply saying, I'm not going to wear his merch unless he does this one thing. I like some of the other stuff. and they can't fucking handle that.
No,
like it is.
Yeah.
He is emotionally incapable of fathoming a person who doesn't fucking worship this politician.
You're not going to be part of the cult, even if the cult does a thing you like.
I'm telling you, guys are gonna love where this goes. You're gonna love where this goes.
If you're saying that that's the one thing that it takes, my stance
for me, that's the one thing that it
because
takes.
if you
said in front of the Libertarian Party,
but because if you would have said I'm never putting a MAGA hat on, then I'm gonna be like, that's your choice. But if you're saying if he does this one thing, I'll put one on. My argument is you should have fucking put one on a long time ago.
That argument doesn't make any fucking sense.
Why?
Yeah.
I agree with Eric.
Like, I didn't like. I mean, I recognize it, but like you really pointed. Like, it literally is just him wanting him to wear a literal hat.
Yeah.
That's all he fucking wants.
Hey, man, I've had my time with Eric. I'm not a fan of Eric at all. I see what he's saying.
I think Jeremy is
Jeremy's
appealing to his
fucking-
D-Day
yeah.
Cobra audience. He's appealing to the
Yeah.
D-Day Cobra audience specifically here.
I'm simply telling you that is
That's a single issue voter bullshit.
But he's right. That is a single issue. So I
Yeah.
mean, he's not wrong in that regard either.
He's allowed to set that line in the sand, though.
Right.
I mean,
That drives me crazy.
I didn't say anything about voting.
It's not really because if your single issue is no taxes, that's a lot of other issues that are affected.
It is,
Oh,
and it's
yeah,
a big deal
absolutely.
too. It's a big deal. Like
that's
if
like
you were to
a
remove
major
federal
shitload of-
taxes, that would be crazy. To be honest,
I think
like,
it's completely unrealistic, but he's drawn the line. So
Right. To think that Republicans are ever going to stop taking your money, or fucking find a way to fucking, like, are you fucking Democrats?
Dude,
No,
they-
they're never going to
We
do
need
that
to
shit.
fund the military, man.
yeah, they've been
Yeah.
staring at Social Security, going, "Oh, we got to get."
Oh, they're
that
fucking
shit."
licking
And that's
their
your
spots, man.
money,
It's
and then
crazy.
Yeah.
They
Everything
probably
else he's
won't
done-
because I'm thinking that there's probably some kind of something going on with Blaze, between them.
Yeah, like there's a weird backhand connection between these guys that like this argument. I think this is a legitimate back and forth with them, but now they're trying to play it like they're making up and it's not a big deal. But I
Right,
think
let's
that's because
just-
they realize that people are seeing this. You know what I mean? So
Done hadn't been good enough. But if he
No,
does one thing,
for me to be
But he
draped
does
out
one thing.
in MAGA gear, no, none of that shit has done any of that for me. None
so
of it.
nothing else he's done. So
No,
getting all
not
these
for
illegal
me, not
motherfuckers
for
out of the
me.
country ain't done nothing for you.
What?
Getting all these illegals out of the country ain't doing no benefit to you.
What I am
Getting rid
saying,
of DEI ain't doing nothing for you.
I did not say that. I
Getting us out of endless wars ain't doing nothing for you.
I did not say that, Jeremy. Are you listening to anything that I'm saying? I'm
Yes.
saying for me to be draped out in an all red MAGA, that would be what would happen. And I would do it without any sort of problem.
And at that point, I would say, and at that point, I would say, you ain't earned that shit. I would say you ain't earned that shit.
you
I
ain't earned that shit.
I am begging for Jeremy to give an example of how removing undocumented immigrants from this country has helped him personally.
Right? How has it helped
wanna-
you? Like, what has it done
like-
for you? Right?
Like, sit
Well, I mean,
down and
riffing on
explain-
the idea of removing them has definitely helped him personally.
Oh, yeah.
He's benefited from just talking about these things for sure.
Oh, it's benefited me personally because I got to live stream about it. All right, fine. Never mind.
America,
Yeah. all
I
right.
can show you the
Forgive me,
chat.
I need to get some popcorn.
Oh,
I'd say
Well,
you
I
ain't
just
earned
point
that
out that
shit. If
when
you're
it
gonna
comes
wait
to-
till the
when it
last
comes-
possible minute, I would say don't put that shit on.
All right,
Because
that's
this motherfucker has earned that
it's
long
cool because
time
I'm not
before.
doing it for you. I'm not
Long
doing that
time
for
ago.
you. What I'm saying
Long
is,
time.
especially
That's
as a business
gatekeeping.
owner, what I'm saying,
that's
especially
the gatekeeping shit you're talking about. We're MAGA gatekeeping, and my argument is you should have put that shit on a long fucking time
I
ago.
don't get
That's
offended
my
by it.
point.
all right.
That's my
and
point.
what I'm saying is, and the joke that we've been obviously putting out there is that I will put it on if that's what happened, right? That's particular. That would happen, and I would do it without any sort of problem. At no point in time, whether it be for Trump or any other politician for that matter, have I ever draped up and dripped out in everything that espouses what.
I hate to say this, but I feel that like I would never walk around in some politicians like drip. I wouldn't get swagged out for any politician.
Jeremy Griggs is legit. Like, so you're telling me you wouldn't virtue signal if
Yeah.
if he did this thing that you think is good or whatever? You wouldn't do
The
the
issue
virtue
is,
signal
Eric, you're
thing?
not virtue signaling enough.
What
It's like-
what he's treating it like is like stolen valor. Like if you
Yeah.
get to the end of the Trump presidency and you put on you put on the mask, whatever, like you weren't there, you weren't in the trenches or whatever. Like it's
He said he's gatekeeping MAGA. What the fuck is that?
Well,
How do you gatekeep? How do you gatekeep a political party? Like, how does that work? I mean,
I don't understand it.
And he's saying that like if you don't ever put it on at all, it's fine. But if you put it on towards the end, it's not okay because then you're like you're stealing from this movement or whatever. Like I mean, literally just stolen valor shit. Like what the fuck?
Yeah. Whatever that character is. I've not done it for Ron Paul. I didn't do it for any Rand Paul. I haven't done it for any other politician, so I would do it for fucking Trump. And it's funny that you're bringing up some sort of gatekeeping shit when that has never been required of me for any other politician, but you want me to do it for Trump.
Yes, because Trump is different.
That's fucking
He's different
retarded.
than every other politician that's ever been in major politics.
I'm saying that's fucking retarded. You're just essentially saying that I must suck his damn dick.
Trump is different.
Whoa. He went where with it?
Oh no, we gotta run that back.
I'm not gonna lie, that idea kind of crossed my mind. It's like you aren't going to.
Did I hear him?
Let's do this. Let's run this back.
But you want me to do it for Trump?
Yes, because Trump is different.
That's fucking
He's different
retarded.
than every other politician that's ever been in major politics.
I'm saying that's fucking retarded. You're just essentially saying that I must suck his damn dick. And if I don't give him props, in the form of rocking his gear, then I'm the one that's out of control.
I'm saying the day that they invaded his house, the day that they fucking tried to
look. Eric is so annoyed. He's so annoyed that this is like being said to him.
And it's
no.
It's all about shit that's happened to it. Yeah. Like every single time he comes to, they raided his house because he committed a crime.
Victim narrative.
Someone tried to assassinate him because he's a fucking presidential candidate. Like none of that is impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it really does come off like Jeremy's like, hey, are you telling me if Trump's dick was in front of you, you want to suck down on it immediately?
Yeah, Jeremy's like, dude,
it's really coming off like that.
Dick so hard.
Jeremy's like,
lock him up
would,
the day they shot him. None of those days was good enough. But the day that he gets income tax that's the day he finally did something.
You're saying that like it's nothing. Do you know how that you?
What are you saying? Sorry.
No, just like the none of that's good enough. Like, yeah, none of that is a fucking reason to vote for someone. Recently, a Democrat, I can't remember his name, a Democrat senator, I think it was, got outed for embezzlement and a bunch of different corruption shit or whatever. And as far as I understand, is either going to jail for it or at least suffering legal troubles or whatever. Should I now vote for him because he's being persecuted or whatever?
Yeah.
Like, is that under Jeremy's logic? Is it literally just if you've been to jail, you're instantly up on the leaderboards? Like,
yeah.
I also want to point out this is a good example of why Eric is their debate person and no one else is. This is a good example why. Like, he might not be winning the entire argument.
Pretty well, you know.
He understands.
He's not even having to use any of his dishonest tactics here.
Right.
He's just, being rational in a way from his perspective, right?
And I don't want to give him any credit, but one thing I've always said about Eric is really good at like conversational debating.
Sure.
And the fact that Bob was able to take him down, even though he's won so many other battles, Bob deserves the crown a little bit. Like, he deserves a little bit of a scepter or something.
I do think it's noteworthy how few of them will actually talk to me anymore.
I know. That was it.
I think.
Okay, and if you think that, if you like that, why the fuck aren't you decked out in Bob merch right now?
Yeah,
why aren't you wearing his hat?
I know. Fuck, it's like I don't know.
To lock him
If
up
I
the
had the
day
money, I would print us all some Bob merch. I swear to God.
Yeah, Bob merch.
I'll be fucking wearing. We'd all be wearing like, you're not really that stupid, are you? On our hats or something.
Yeah. KC, I'm not siding with either one of them, but if we're talking about which one is better suited for debating, it's clearly Eric, not Jeremy. So.
Shot him. None of those days was good enough. But the day that he gets income tax that's the day he finally did
First
something.
of all, you're saying that like it's nothing. Do you know how that impacts Americans?
Absolutely.
Robbing them of their labor?
And I've
the fuck
said
are
on
you
my,
talking? You're saying that like, it's just a thing. He got shot. Federal income tax is one of the most criminal things that have ever been implemented in this country, alongside the Federal Reserve in 1913. What the fuck are you talking about?
There ain't nobody that could do it except for this guy. And the only way it gets done is from everything he's been through to get to this point.
What does that have to do with what I just said?
They legit think he's Jesus, man. They fucking think he's Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's suffered so much for us so that he can fucking wipe away our sins of taxation. Like,
that has nothing to do with what I just said.
I have said multiple times on my show that I think that he wants it gone, but he understands that he can't just do it right now. You've got to build.
But that's not an argument that anybody, Jeremy, you're making arguments that nobody here, unless I'm speaking for myself, has ever made an argument against. You're arguing as if you're arguing against somebody like non-voting libertarian, left libertarian or something. You're not talking to that person.
You are
How many times have I gone on that?
You are a non-voter. I mean, that's true. He said he didn't vote, so like that's a true statement. Unless Eric was lying about
I don't know. And maybe they changed something in the last decade since I moved away from there. But I grew up and worked a lot of years in Texas, and I paid fucking income tax. So I don't know where you're getting that.
But you didn't vote for Trump. Is my point.
No, I didn't.
So don't put the fucking MAGA hat on.
All right,
that's my point.
He's
not.
He didn't say he would.
What the fuck is he doing? What is?
Yeah, he didn't. He never said he would.
The whole point is he doesn't want him to because or he's trying to get him to, but now he's telling him don't. Like, what the fuck is even happening here?
He's trying to say that if his single issue is getting income tax removed, which would be an insane feat that would certainly help this country in so many different ways.
Yeah, help us.
That like he's trying to say, if that's your goal, then you should have already put on the hat. But if you haven't put it on yet, you shouldn't be allowed into the movement. Like you shouldn't be allowed to now. Just like,
I mean, if I can defend Jeremy for a moment, I think essentially what he's saying is you're not a real Nazi unless you supported Hitler right back in 1933.
Right.
Yeah.
All those people that came in like 41, 42 at the end of a gun.
Those are the fair weather Nazis.
Exactly.
And they tried to assassinate Hitler, don't forget. So I don't know. He's been through a lot. They put him in jail, right? I don't know, man.
Just whole point is that I shouldn't rock. I shouldn't rock the mic. I shouldn't be supported. So you're treating it like a cool kids club.
There we go. You're treating it like a cool kids club.
Okay, wait. Did he say it that way on purpose? Was that him calling them the Klan?
I don't know.
Oh, just because whenever, at least in my experience, anytime someone says "cool kids club," they're
I didn't think about that.
No,
I'd like to get into the lexicon on the Shillcast that we refer to these guys as the Cool Kids Club, and specifically spelled with K's.
All right, so the point. All right,
what is this?
Thank you, Crazy Joe.
Oh. Oh my goodness.
That's is this Jeremy's house? I think it is. I think it's Jeremy's house.
Don't dox him.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, let's put this back in here. Get the goods going.
Right, yeah.
So your whole point is that I shouldn't rock the mic. I shouldn't be supported. So you're treating it like a cool kids club.
I'm treating it like
that's exactly what you're doing. You're treating it like a cool kids club.
I'm treating it like
you're treating it like a cool kids club.
I'm treating it like if you couldn't see it now, then you're never gonna see it. If it takes one little issue to get you to that point,
it's not a little issue, Jeremy. It's not a little issue.
Yes, it is. Considering where.
Any thoughts?
Wow. So once again, this happens so rarely when I watch debate and I won't know if I necessarily say I'm on Eric's side, but I definitely see his perspective way better than Jeremy's. Jeremy is literally just a cultist being like, wear the hat. No, you don't.
Well, he's entirely politically illiterate at every point, but he gobbles down those talking points from Fox News as if he needs them to live. I mean, doesn't he realize that all of this money saving is just to extend the Trump tax cuts?
Mm-hmm.
That's all it's about.
And he's quite literally admitting that his entire his political ideology is based off of photo ops. Like he is expecting you to have been won over by that picture of Trump raising his fist in the air, not by actual policy shit or whatever. Eric's the only one who's actually properly talked anything related to policy.
I mean, getting rid of tax would be a policy thing. That would be something that's actionable. Not
even when Jeremy brings up
those emotions, bro, those emotions when all those emotional things happened. Yeah, that's what he's appealing to.
Yeah.
I don't know how any businessman can ever say that the federal income tax is just some little issue.
It's a little issue because there's no way he would even be in a position to do the things he's doing right now without the path in which he's taken to get
what
here.
What does that have to do with that addresses nothing of what I've said about Donald Trump.
It's like putting on a fucking Bulls hat after Jordan's 7th fucking championship.
So is it politics or is it celebrity? Which one is it? Or is it both, I guess? I don't know. It's weird. Oh, wait. look who showed up. Shout out to Low Watermark for $100 super chat. I appreciate it. Hey, I love where this is going. It's the girls are fighting. The girls are fighting. Anyway, yeah, shout out. Thank you so much, Low Watermark, for good to see you. I tried to catch you last night, but you left, I guess, the live stream early. I was going to jump on and chat with you. But thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it.
That's essentially what you're doing.
You're treating it like a cool kids club.
For 6 championships.
You're treating it like a cool kids club.
No, I'm not. I'm treating it like,
because I said it as a joke, but now if we want to ask, I said it as a joke, and you took offense to a joke, Jeremy.
No,
You're taking offense to it. No, yes, you are. Because that's the whole thing.
Do you think this thing's serious?
We said it as a lighthearted joke.
Do you think going on about
serious? Well, you shouldn't rock it because if you didn't support him when I said you should have supported, that shit's gay.
No,
treat it like a cool kids club.
I care more. Let me say this.
I care more.
That shit's gay.
Like, I'm gonna need more popcorn. Okay.
I will say he's good at needling people. Like these are exactly the things that Jeremy went home and cried about that night. Like,
oh my god.
I care more about seeing liberty in my lifetime and my kids' lifetime than I care about.
Well, the only way that's gonna happen with Donald Trump doing it.
And if that's the case, fine. But that has nothing to do with me rocking MAGA gear. Because you're arguing
the only way it happens.
You're not arguing my point, Jeremy. You're arguing against a point that I never made. So let's assume that is true. What does that have to do with anything that I said?
100% true. No, He's absolutely strong manning Eric. No question.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying at the beginning. Is that like again? I mean, I've got a lot of problems with Eric, but in this argument, Jeremy is trying really hard to argue about wearing MAGA gear versus like MAGA policy, which is two different discussions. And
yes.
You know, this is crazy because again, I don't like either one of these guys, so it's weird.
No.
Like for me, it's like when one makes a good point, I'm like, okay, they made a good point, but it doesn't really matter.
It's all symbolism to Jeremy. He doesn't actually give a shit because he's not actually affected. That's the thing with MAGA in general. Most of them either aren't affected or don't realize that they are affected by the shit that they fucking push. You know, and Jeremy's probably pretty fucking disconnected and probably, you know, comes from a well-to-do family or something. And, you know, yeah.
Saying I think it's stupid.
Yeah. Have any stake? Sorry.
Stupid that you would wait until he actually does this one thing.
Well, that's fine. I disagree, but that's not the argument.
That's not possible with him going through everything else he's gone through to get to this point.
You're trying to go on this rigmarole about what he fucking went through. That is totally irrelevant to anything that I have said pertaining to the income tax.
Okay, and to be clear, with respect to the income tax deal, he's not even arguing that Trump has said he's going to do it and just hasn't accomplished it yet. Because I feel like if that were the case, Eric would probably be agreeing with him. He's trying to say, I think based off of my like palm reading of Donald Trump that he's going to go after income tax one day, and you should be like in support of him for that shit. Like there's not even an argument here. He can't even like point to something and be like, see, look, Trump has promised to do the thing you're asking for. It's all based off of his, his emotional perception.
I think the coolest thing about this is we have two different narratives being painted here by these guys. So you have Jeremy, who clearly has a MAGA narrative. That's what his political channel is. It is a MAGA channel, right? And then you have Eric, who is struggling to sell his merch to anybody that wants to buy it, which means he doesn't want to take a position politically that's going to alienate some of the people that might be willing to buy his merchandise, because he's been going out to conventions and trying to advertise his comic as a non-anti-woke comic. It's just non-anything. It has no political allegiance whatsoever. That's what he's been advertising. So Jeremy is trying to sort of pin Eric to one political thing. Eric is like, I'm not going to get pinned into one political thing. And that's where that divide is happening. So neither one of them are going to concede because both of them have an agenda. Jeremy's agenda is MAGA, 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 and Eric's agenda is sell to anybody I can because the warehouse needs to get paid. And comic books are not selling like they used to. You know what I mean?
I mean, the simple fact is, he is, like you said, he's trying to pin Eric to a political leaning. But like the way you do that is you let Eric explain it and then point out the holes. Instead, he's just straw manning. I mean, it's like that's not what
complete straw man. And at the same time, I think Eric's annoyed because he wants to say it was a joke. I don't think it was necessarily a joke. I think it was a genuine answer, but maybe it was tongue in cheek. Maybe it wasn't totally serious, but I don't think it was totally a joke either.
That's irrelevant.
What I'm saying is you can't
What you say? Sorry.
I was just going to say, hey, to McDizzle Gaming. He was relevant a couple stories back.
Get to the point of the income tax that he hopefully will do. And again, we don't know if he's going to do that. My point being is that there's no way that he could just walk in the door on day one. And
okay, I want to point out, holding shit up in the camera when this discussion is going on is lame as fuck. Like it's so lame. It's distracting. It's bullshit. Yeah. And I do believe it is to sort of hide the fact that they're either snickering or something behind the scenes. Like, if you jumped out of there to let the two of these guys go at it, why pop back in just to hold up random objects? Yeah. Why? What's the point of that? They do it like this kind of spirals into like them coping with the argument. So we'll get to the point where it kind of wraps up their discussion because it gets a little bit redundant after a while. Right. Like just hold up random things. Exactly.
Yeah, do something like this.
But that's not an argument anybody is making, Jeremy. You see this is my frustration with what you're going on about. You're arguing against the positions that, number one, I don't have and I have never made. It's just like when you went on this whole tangent about the Libertarian Party. I'm not a member of the Libertarian Party. Libertarian Party has never been a fan of Eric July for the last fucking 15 years. I don't know why you're going on about what he did with them. You're arguing against positions that I don't have.
I don't argue against Libertarian Party. I argue against libertarians because I think libertarians are just basically people that are gender confused in like politics.
Amazing.
You want to take shots at libertarians, I get it, but
I mean, he just basically called Eric a gender-confused political guy or whatever. It's absolutely hilarious. Which, by the way, Beardo and Epic Mike kind of sitting there making fun of all this. It's so annoying, honestly, because I don't think they want to be there with this argument happening. I understand that part, but just dip out, just go, just leave. Like, why are you still there at that point?
Arguing against positions that I don't.
Yeah,
I don't argue against Libertarian Party. I argue against libertarians because I think libertarians are just basically people that are gender confused in like politics where they don't want to
define what a libertarian is to you, Jeremy. We'll see what we're talking about.
Somebody doesn't want to claim they're a Democrat or Republican, so they need to be part of some fucking group.
All right, that's fine. All right,
all right. But he has no idea. Yeah.
There's such an obvious dig that he could be getting here too, but he doesn't know enough about people he disagrees with to fucking get there. Like all he has to do to piss Eric July off is be like, the age of consent is 18 and the whole thing's over. But
I mean,
what about the roads? What about roads? Like that,
exactly.
I really didn't seem to understand libertarianism at all. But the issue is Jeremy wants to straw man him rather than just letting him explain it and then poking the holes.
But do you see that he's like, a libertarian is just somebody that doesn't want to pick a side? That's basically what he's saying.
And it's like that's not a libertarian, bro.
Right.
So we're arguing semantics. That is not what I believe to be a libertarian.
Libertarians are never going to accomplish shit.
That's fine. That has nothing to do with what I advocate.
They just need the identity. They need
that has nothing to do with. I don't care about any of that.
What was that?
I was just saying true when he said libertarians aren't going to accomplish.
That has nothing to do with anything that I advocate.
It's fucking true. It's just like Trump sat there and said, "Enjoy your 2%." That's literally what a libertarian is.
You keep referring to the Libertarian Party. I don't care anything about the Libertarian Party, Jeremy. I don't care anything about the Libertarian Party. I don't know why you keep mentioning it. It's like you cannot argue against what I'm actually saying, and you're arguing against a figment of your imagination of what you believe libertarians to be. Are you familiar with Murray Rothbard? Do you know who that even is?
No.
All right, so again, we're starting from square one that you don't even know the philosophy upon which I actually advocate. Yet you're trying to argue against a position that I have, and that's where your confusion is because you're not actually arguing against a position I have. You arguing against.
This is a good example of why he gave up doing this because Bob crushed him so bad that now when he gets in these arguments, he goes back into that fight or flight mode with this. Which is like
he's traumatized for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
And now if only he could expand that to other people that he talks about and not just when somebody's coming at him.
Right.
If only you could pause and think, maybe I'm doing the same thing.
You think the general libertarian has
that's libertarianism is retarded. Yes.
All right. Well, I do.
I think it's stupid, just like Republicans are stupid. And I think Democrats are stupid.
Well, he just didn't he just say, okay, hold on. I gotta get Jeremy on this one. Didn't he just call them? He R-slurred them because he said that they don't pick a side, right? And then he sit here and he's saying that all of them are wrong. Like Republicans, Democrats, Libertarians are all wrong. So he's essentially doing exactly what he's accusing Eric and Libertarians of doing, which is not picking a side.
Defining yourself to a political ideology is stupid.
All right.
This is
so
pretty
what would
gay,
you what
bro.
did you what would you define yourself as?
But yeah, define yourself by a person
Well, I mean,
instead.
currently I'm a Trump supporter.
All right. So you're
MAGA.
what does that mean?
He's just MAGA.
Right, exactly. He's saying that right there. He's like, I don't have a political allegiance, just mad.
Literally, don't define yourself by a political ideology. Define yourself by a guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care about anything. I just want Trump to make all the money and be happy.
Is it just me? I mean, and tell me this is offensive, you know, any of the queer folks on the panel here, but like it just seems kind of gay, man. Like
Yeah.
just be like, I define myself by this dude that I just fucking
not
love
even
this
subtle,
dude for
man.
no reason except I
Well,
love him.
I mean, essentially, it would be because Eric says that Jeremy expects him to suck Trump's dick. So there is some gayness or bisexuality present in that.
There's
I mean,
something going on in there.
He is in love with Trump.
That's true. That is true.
I mean,
That's
I'm not
his
even joking.
pronouns. Get it
He
right.
is-
It's his pronouns. His pronouns are Donald / Trump.
He is just in love with Trump. He doesn't like politics, apparently. He doesn't like either side or whatever side. He just loves Trump.
So it's also a daddy fetish. So it's like not only is it gay, but it's daddy fetishization there. So there we go.
What does that entail? Is there any sort of actual principle tied
It means
to
that
or
there's
is it
not
just
a
anything
human.
Trump does?
It means that there's not a human being on the planet that can accomplish what Trump has accomplished.
Oh
And I
my
will
god.
support him, even if I disagree with him along the way. And the fact that the
So it's
FBI
not a
raided
really
his
it's
home.
not a principle. You
No,
didn't
it's not a
come to your
principle.
position
No.
by way of
Mm-mm.
principles. You came to your position by way of who you like. I guess.
I mean,
No
to
lies
put this-
detected on that one. That's a true statement.
Like a politician, probably the politician I think is probably my favorite politician is probably a lot of people's pick would be Bernie Sanders. However, there's plenty of things I've disagreed with Bernie on. I just think overall I agree with him far more than I disagree with him. And it sounds like the argument from Jeremy over here is essentially whatever Trump does, I love, and it's all great. And thank you for the gifted memberships, Low Watermark.
Yeah, Low Watermark is showing up and supporting. Thank you so much, Low Watermark. Thank you.
It's good to see you. I actually haven't seen you for a couple weeks, so it's good to see you back.
Yeah, it's good to see him.
No. I came to my conclusion based on the fact that this man stood up in front of the Republican Party as a Republican nominee and called George W. Bush a liar.
Oh well,
front of
Ron Paul did that fucking 20 years before he even thought about doing any of that shit.
Was he a Republican?
Yes, he was a Republican.
And he stood. But you're saying he stood up in
South
Carolina.
Yes, he did it on the stage and he did it on the debate stage.
I'm sorry, what was that? Did you say something?
Jeremy knows nothing about politics.
Right.
No.
So Eric is
He
having
knows
to actually he's actually schooling him on something Republican. It's crazy.
Eric doesn't know much.
Right.
but
No, he knows way more than Jeremy, obviously.
in the kingdom of the blind,
Right. The person with one eye is the one that sees everything. So
It's long before Trump was even a thing. He did it in 2008. He did it in 2012
And guess
as
what?
a Republican.
And guess what? He got nowhere with it. And
No,
Trump
he didn't. But
And Trump went somewhere
you're
with
saying that you support someone because of an action that they did, and I'm telling you, there's an action there that already happened.
he got
long before
nowhere.
Trump
And
came
he got
into the
nowhere
equation.
with it.
But that's not the position. There, you're just saying that you're
The dude
essentially
has literally got Ron Paul involved in Doge right now. He's got Ron Paul involved in Doge right now.
Me for is you're basically playing party politics. It's not a principal position that you have.
No, I'm playing MAGA politics for sure.
Right.
I would argue he's not playing party politics. He's playing whatever the fuck Trump says. I worship politics.
yeah.
My God.
Look, put the toys down. Exactly. It's so annoying. It's like, what are they like? What's happening? In a second, though,
Don't
they
even
start
rejoin
to
the screen.
Yeah. So, like in a second, I think Beardo interrupts them and tries to diffuse the argument, and then it spirals into them going, "Oh, I bet you a bunch of people are going to watch this clip and be like, oh, let's look at the two guys fighting and stuff," and they try to like sort of.
You're goddamn right, we are.
It's weird. Like, it's so interesting to me to see. Like, Eric is clearly still operating under the general accurate presumption that like political disagreements are primarily a difference in ideology, and like I don't think that he can even fathom or like interact with the fact that, to the MAGA crowd, to the guy that he's talking about, ideology doesn't matter anymore. It's literally just about my team is better than your, my celebrity is more famous than your celebrity. Like, it's so fucking wild.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not
100%.
necessarily a principle per se. It's not any principle. It's like whatever he does, or whatever he espouses because of what he experienced. That's your position.
It's the things that he said he was going to do
Okay.
And he struggled
but
to
you said you
implement a lot
sometimes
of that.
disagree with him though as well, so it can't be everything.
Of course.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Where are your principles is what I'm asking, right?
My principles are that I think illegal immigration needs to be under control.
Okay, that's fine.
I think we don't need to be in endless wars.
Okay, that's cool.
I think you need to be holding the government accountable for what's going on right now with what we're seeing.
Yeah.
I think those are some key issues that I think are fundamentally good for America and good for all Americans. It's not
what is odd enough about all the things that you're saying is those.
Can you pause it real fast?
Yeah.
He hasn't updated his time. He's like, oh, what's going on with the government right now? We need to be critical. It's like, you mean what Trump and Doge are doing? Is that what no, of course that's not what he means, but he hasn't updated his fucking talking points yet.
Right.
So Jeremy said he supports, ending the endless wars. So certainly, if I went to his channel, he would be praising Biden for pulling out of Afghanistan, right?
No, he did it wrong.
He wouldn't.
He did
Which he did on the date that Donald Trump set, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like,
yes.
Well, no doubt he's also criticizing Trump for threatening to go to war with 4 different countries.
Sure.
Yeah, presumably taking us out of all of our various alliances around the world is a great way to prevent endless war.
He's criticizing Trump for possibly putting U.S. troops into Israel and clearing out Gaza, right? He's doing that, right?
Yeah, you know how you end war by making sure you have no friends anywhere else.
Yeah.
And on both sides of your country, on your continent, both sides, the other 2 countries don't like you either. So
only
that's really
when everyone hates us will finally we be at
war
peace.
finally end.
We've reached peak goonerdom at that point. So
those are positions that a lot of minarchist libertarians have,
and nothing was accomplished until Trump walked in the door.
We're not arguing about a comment because now you're just saying he won and he's in a position to win, and therefore that places them above everything else.
Bernie Sanders got screwed.
The what now? Sorry, I didn't hear
you say minarchist libertarians?
I think so. Yeah.
As in, like, what? I mean, the root word there, one of them being monarchist.
Yeah.
Like,
well, minarchy is like referring to like a minimized government, basically.
Right.
Like it's the smallest possible.
Sounds a lot like monarchy, though.
I think that's what they're basing it. I think that's why they call it that. Like, I think that's the point. You're supposed to mishear it. I could be wrong, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, there's only a little bit more of this before Beardo pops in, but I think we're getting to a good stopping point.
Oh, dude, yeah, I'm enjoying this so much.
Over and he cuts to the party.
American Brave New World.
Because now you're just saying he won and he's in a position to win, and therefore that places them above everything else.
Bernie Sanders got screwed over and he cucked to the party. Trump got screwed over. They shot at him. They raided his house. They arrested his friends, and he didn't fucking give up.
I'm not saying any of that stuff is negative. What I'm saying is you're claiming that like my positions are retarded by you, and you just took positions that I would argue that a lot of minarchist libertarians take.
I think when Donald Trump has gone through everything he's gone through and you don't vote for him, I think that's retarded.
All right, and that's fine, and I would disagree. I think calling someone retarded just because they did or did not vote for something, I think is one of the things that got us in this political position right now.
I think if you're going to be sensitive to me calling you retarded, we should never have a conversation because we called retarded. I agree with that. I agree with that. I just think that you're not well equipped, at least, to argue against libertarianism because you don't really know the position. I fucking voted for the man.
Oh my God. So it's like swings. It's like, all right, if you say this, then you shouldn't argue. And then I think you're not equipped, which is true. And then he's like, but you didn't vote, which is also true. It's like, hold on, you're hitting me with too many things at one time here. I can't keep up with all of those.
And who's making America great again? So apparently I'm a little more equipped than you.
There's plenty of libertarians that voted for Trump too. That's not a position.
Good. They should have.
That's why I'm saying nobody's arguing for or against that.
What
voting, did this whole thing happen with the Libertarian National?
Yeah, I know. Like,
you guys ever seen Mario 2?
Whoa, Mario Land 2? What?
Committee chick talking about getting Ross out of jail, like and that she supported Trump in his efforts to do all that. There's plenty of libertarians. That Dave Smith, another one. Plenty of big libertarians,
dude.
I know. And look, Savvy's like, I'm just going to turn my camera off. I'm done with all this.
Yeah, Savvy's the only one that has any sort of sense. Just turn off your camera.
Dave Smith said he thinks Trump should be in jail. He said that before Trump got elected. Dave Smith says Trump should be in jail for the rest of his life. Good job, Dave Smith.
Did he support Trump in his last election?
He said he should be locked up forever.
Did he support Trump in the last election?
I think so. At the last
so
second.
he did.
Wait. Is he trying to make the argument that people who have said stuff like that about Donald Trump should not be welcome into the movement?
Yes.
Like, am I misunderstanding that?
That's the argument he's making.
So when JD Vance referred to him as America's Hitler, I assume that that's also disqualifying, right?
What about all the Republicans that are currently still in office right now that said negative things about Trump?
Right, or the fact that like the majority of the huge MAGA people are all folks that Donald Trump fucking hated and insulted and attacked their families and all of that business and whatever. Like, what is the standard here? What?
Yeah. I'm assuming you mean you were in chemo and shout out, man, fighting the fight. Hope everything is working out.
Yeah, good to see you, Defunct. Good to see you.
That was what we were arguing this whole time, Jeremy, about about someone supporting or voting. You said not voting for Trump.
I don't know if he
you
did
got
or not.
a guy that voted for Trump.
I know.
And you're still bitching.
No.
It's a cool kids club for you.
I don't.
Right. So the argument was that Eric should not rock MAGA or be MAGA because he didn't actually vote for Trump. And then we cycle, back to that, where now voting for Trump doesn't even qualify you to be MAGA. Now, simply having a different opinion about Donald prior to voting for him now disqualifies you from being MAGA, according to Jeremy.
1933.
If that was the case, they wouldn't have fucking won, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If that was the case, if they were legitimately going by Jeremy's apparently arbitrary fucking gatekeeping rules about what it means to be MAGA, then they would have lost even worse.
Yeah.
About someone supporting or voting. You said not voting for Trump.
I don't know if he did
You got
or
a guy
not.
that voted for Trump.
I know.
And you're still bitching.
No.
It's
I
a
don't
cool
know if
kids
he
club
did.
for you.
I don't know if he voted for him. I know that he supported
I will tell
him.
you he did. Now what?
Okay, then that's fine.
And he's pretty open about it. So I don't know how you could get the part about him saying that he died, but or he wanted him jailed or something, but you somehow missed that he didn't support that he
because that's what you guys do all the time with every video you fucking make. It is selective cherry picking of the information that you provide to your people. That's it.
Yes.
That is it. 14, almost 15 minutes into this, and you finally realize that you're arguing against somebody that does the same thing that you do, and then you don't understand why you're getting nowhere. You don't understand why you can't get past this point, this pedantic thing about whether you actually voted for Trump or didn't, and it's turned into a 15-minute argument. You finally got there, Eric. After 15 minutes of arguing.
You somehow missed that he supported Trump. I don't know how you missed that.
Because how do you vote for a man that you think should be in prison for the rest
People
of his
do
life?
that all the time. That's what politics are.
Who?
Politics has never been supporting a guy that you 100% agree with.
You said libertarianism is about principles.
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. I don't think libertarianism is.
If you're watching, or rather, Ethan Van Skyver, we know you're watching. You're always watching. Go ahead and pay that dude and make something out of this, man. This would be good.
And then have the boxes with people just throwing random dumb shit up.
Yeah,
next to their faces.
There's so much comedy to be mined from that. Jesus, just
simply about principles. I think
So Dave thinks Donald Trump needs to be in prison for the rest of his life, but he voted for him to run this country. What type of that says principles to you? How does that scream principles to you?
What does that have to do with anything that I've said?
I'm just saying you talk about principles.
Politics. Well, again,
I missed it.
I don't understand it.
Well, I think that Eric's playing his whole the game that he does with language where he's I insinuated, but I didn't specifically say it. And so that's the argument that he's making, which we know how Eric does. That's typical Eric. I'm going to use this example, but then that's not my position, but I used it as an example. That's their position, but I didn't say that. That's the game. So
politics has nothing to do with agreeing with someone on 100% of the positions that they have.
Yeah, but I would think
I would argue that 99% of Congress folks should be in prison.
If you think somebody needs to be in prison for the rest of their life, I'm not sure how you can comfortably vote for them.
Well, which one is this is actually, it's kind of, it's cringe, but also think about this. Maybe they're just finally saw an opportunity to talk about things they like. It just, while mom and dad are fighting, we never actually get to talk about cool shit that we enjoy.
Right.
We'll just show it to the camera while they're fighting.
Yeah, we'll just hold it up. We'll hold up
our
toys.
It's our only chance, guys.
It's show and tell time at school, so they get to bring all their favorite things up.